Imagine staying 2 years at home, nothing, not doing anything. First, the things you have read during the semester, you forget everything.
But how will I, how
I'm
do
happy,
you
I'm
disagree
happy
with you?
that
I disagree with you. In as much as you've read, even as much as you're a serious student, regardless of the time, even if it is 4 years strike, you will still be reading your book. So that's not an
you
that's
still be
actually
reading your book.
yes, you'll be reading your book.
So
Yes,
my point is,
They're telling me that if you bring a third class student to a private university, you will top the class.
yes,
Yes.
there are many things being provided. There are many.
I have one simple question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather spend 8 years for a 4 year course or spend 4 years for a 4 year
Nobody
course?
likes a time wasting. But when there are situations around it that can't really be avoided.
I said one simple question. You
Yes,
not answered my
I
question.
answered the question.
Answer my question. Would you rather spend 8 years for a 4 year course or 4 years for a 4 year course?
Today's prompt. Third class in a public university equates first class in a private university.
So for me, I would say that it's easy for them to pass. And let me use my experience while growing up. I have a particular university that they do take students that had not even gotten their WAEC. They give them admission. So you can imagine going like teaching, educating a student that could not even by themselves easily pass their WAEC. It is very, very easier for them to gain admission, to like go through with school processing. Even in a public sector, you need to go through every practical, every examination, everything that you needed to be done is done. But the at the other side, you just need to have the money, be ready to pay the school fees, then you're in. Then the other ones, your wife can come in later before you finish your 100 level. It does not work like that in the public sector. And that shows that you've gone through every necessary screening. It's not as if somebody is trying to ensure that you pass so that you can stay in school. But that's my view about that.
They're trying to say that someone that is a third class,
Sorry, I can hear you.
someone as a third class student in the public university is equivalent to a first class in a private university.
yes.
You can't, there's no way that is possible.
That's not
But
possible. It's very possible.
because they're telling me that if you bring a third class student to a private university, you will top the class.
Yes.
There are many things being provided. There are many opportunities that brings about learning. There are different things that there are different situations that make learning easier for them, which are very restricted when it comes to private university.
The curriculum is there. The curriculum is there.
Your own is to the system in the private university. The system is actually flexible, and in most cases, you see a student who score 150 exam, you end up in private university, but it can't happen in public university. And also, like when it comes to their test, in the private university, when you finish your test, there's nothing like a makeover test. But in the public university, there's makeover test. Even sometimes, if you do write the exams, you can as well go back and write the exam. So I feel like the system here is actually flexible for the private university students. So when a student in the federal university, a third class in the federal university can as well match a first class student in the private university.
Okay, that's the only thing I'll agree with you on is the system. The system in private university is just better. Anything you are saying does not matter because there's something we call capacity and there's something we call performance. Capacity is what the person can do. Performance is what happens in as per in the in a unruly environment. I think public university students are just put in an unruly environment, and that's why you people think we have it easier. What private university we are seeing for private university students our capacities actually like is what we can do. So a first class student in private university will be a first class student anywhere.
So I kind of disagree with that. In the sense that when it comes to private university at times, it's not only about the capacity. It's not only about you having opportunities to go for summer and because you people have different programs that you can quickly use to like meet up with other and all of those things. But it's not really about that. It's about you fail a particular course. You have enough time to like work on this particular course. You have the ability to like I don't know how to put the point here, but you have the ability to say, oh, you want to go through this class again, do this, take this lecture again, go over the when you go over the class in a public environment for somebody that knows what they are doing, you kind of learn again from people that you are meeting at that point in time to like take the class. Some people used to see it, well, it depends on people's mentality though. But some people do still used to see that, oh, I shouldn't be with my maybe my junior ones. I shouldn't be with my junior ones. But the truth is, when you're learning from those people, you're able to learn another thing that you might not know before, and it's an added advantage for you. It's an added advantage for you when you're able to do that. But you already did a summer class, you're just bunch of those people that you do not know that particular course, then you just want to take the quickly do the makeup test, makeup exam, then you match up with your other colleagues. But there is a point of you actually sitting down, understanding this thing, not based on people that you are with at that moment, but the opportunity to use for learn from another person, see it in different perspective. It's quite funny. My first maybe let me use myself as an example. I wanted to carry over in uni. It was not I will not say it's something I'm proud of, but however it happened. And when it happened, I never learned from the lecturer because it's still the same lecturer taking that course. And if the same lecturer now end up taking my summer class, the time is I'm not going to understand the same thing.
Strikes in public universities are enough reason to say private universities are better.
Go. I think if you are opposing this motion, you are literally just supporting Nigerian leaders because you are telling me strikes is not enough reason. Like now, some people that entered medical school in 2019 and some people that entered medical school in 2016 in some public universities, they are finishing together. It is not meant to be like that. It is not meant. So that alone is enough reason to say private universities are better. You see people say if you have money, it's better for you to go to private university because you don't want to imagine staying 2 years at home, nothing, not doing anything. First, the things you have read during the semester, you forget everything.
I'm happy that
I disagree with you. In as much as you've read, even now, as much as you're a serious student, regardless of the time, even if it is 4 years strike, you will still be reading your book. So that's not an.
you still be reading your book.
Yes, you'll be reading your book.
Yes.
Why don't 40 years? You still be reading your book. You read
My
your book.
point is, I'm happy that you start from Nigeria. Now, let's bring this thing to Nigeria, right? There is a song, I think by Phil, I said, suffering and smiling. When it comes to private university, I know at least, even I'm not sure, I will not mention their names here, but I know some two universities in this Nigeria that their lecturers, they are not being paid. But in a private organization, it is either you leave the job or you stay on the job. Nobody's really fighting for them. They can't pull off strike. So there are different reasons that brings about strike. There are different situations that comes about strike. It is nobody's happiness that strikes happens. But you cannot say, oh, because you want to provide a good services. You are like, oh, I want to provide a good services to the students, right? You as the student, you are getting the service, but are your lecturers getting the service? So let's start from that.
No,
So if you're saying Nigeria, no, it's not about it's not about oh, we are supporting Nigeria. It is about things that needs to be done at every organization. But in some private university, their staffs are not being well treated, their staffs are not being cared for. Their students can, if in a public university, if you decided to like disrespect a lecturer, it can lead to a big case for you. But in a private university, nobody sees that. It can become a war in a public university. It might not bring something leading to strike. Okay, coffee, you people this one. But
Yes, so saying strike is can happen at the detriment of the student not moving forward.
not moving forward as well.
The student is at home waiting and not doing anything for 2 years.
Yes, you're at home, but there are different reasons that you need to consider here, which is you cannot be saying because you want somebody to move forward. Some people's lives to be stagnant.
You are making a point. You are saying even you have a very few sample of private universities that are not paying their lecturers because I know for a fact that lecturers in private universities are paid better than lecturers in federal universities. But wait, even the few sample, you said that they cannot. It's either they take the job or they leave the job. They cannot say they are going on strike. That makes sense because if you are not happy with this job, you leave it. Don't come
So are you saying it is normal for them to be cheated after offering a service?
It's not cheating if you are
It is
deciding
a
to
cheat
stay
if you're
there.
not being paid for the services you've offered.
Put it as a working man. You are working somewhere. You are not being paid. You now come and do strike. There's no need to do all these things.
They've given you an option. They've given you an option of leaving.
You want to make money, go and make money. You have this.
So you people take away the fact of education is meant to be free. So these things are meant to be provided for. If it's not being provided for, the only available means is, oh, let's go for strike or let's do this. If it is something that they can just talk through, they have just you cannot say they should not talk about their opinion because they do not want the students to go on strike. If the government does not want the students to go on strike, they should pay their staff. But on you people's side, nobody is even knowing that their staff are not being paid.
I have one question for you, one simple question.
Private university lecturer that is watching this, they are
I have, I have one simple question for you.
okay.
Would you rather spend 8 years for a 4-year course or spend 4 years for a 4-year course?
Nobody likes a time wasting. But when there are situations around it, that can't really be avoided.
I said one simple question. You don't answer my question.
I answered the question.
Answer my question. Would you rather spend 8 years for a 4-year course or 4 years for a 4-year course?
There needs to be a balance.
You are not answering my question.
See, there's a friend of mine that he started school, then he deviated and went to do something else. Yeah, about a year and about let's say 2 years. He started school, I was already like in 200 level, then he deviated for another 2 years. Then went back to school, another school entirely, and finished school. Now his friend that left school to join him in that school in the public university, he is still there. See now, is that COVID thing that happened even worsened everything. To show you how someone's life is just being pushed down because of strike.
Real life story. A classmate of I that in secondary school, we graduated together. I am studying medicine for 6 years. He's studying the course for 4 years. I don't know the course, I can't remember. I was in 500 level in school in a private university. When he came to join in 200, he came to join 200 level. He said he has been in 200 level in a public university since when I'm in 500 level. So now he came.
There is a point.
He came to private university. Relax. He came to private university at 200 level. He's going to graduate next year. While his classmates that I left, they are meant to be my seniors for 3 years, are still in 300 level. While he's going to graduate next year, he's going to leave his mates that he left, that their times were wasted already.
So it's still all those things you just said now is still proving the point that some people's success are made at the detriment of another person. That does it.
If you want to move up, you move up. If you are not being paid, you move. How is lecturer? How will a professor of a school or a dean with that kind of experience you are doing strike? You can get the job anywhere. There's no need to stay there. You can get the job anywhere.
Students of public universities are more prone to cultism and prostitution.
Let's say the quote that says private universities are glorified secondary schools. So to explain how these things are very not accepted. In private universities, there is a lot of security consciousness in terms of any type of, even if sometimes private universities go to the extent that this course should wear this color, this course should wear this color, to even prevent any sort of group or any type of joining of any kind. But that freedom of being more powerful than someone to show power and all those kind of things are very brought down. But in federal universities, there's freedom. People can come in cliques. Even people can begin to form a kind of a group that help them do something. And I know every organization, every school should have this body that fights cultism. But where there's freedom, where there's more freedom, let me put it that way, there's tendency of it being happening in that area.
Can you talk about the prostitute side. You're only talking about the you're only talking about the cultism part. So if you can talk about the prostitute side, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the same thing I'm saying. The freedom of go this thing. In private universities, most private universities, you in terms of leaving school to even go and except you want to do girl in your school, in which you self will be seeing that you should be shameful to you. In terms of going outside to even do that, there's even limit to how much you leave school in a semester, in the term, in a whatever. But for federal universities, this when there's freedom, there is freedom of thought. You can do anything you want to do, and nobody really questions you on that kind of thing. But when you are
When you're saying freedom,
yeah,
you need to be careful about that word. Because you're painting private university to now look like you people have been in prison. And I don't want to believe people have been in prison. They are access to do things. They it's not like as if you're on camera and you're being watched 24 hours. You have your privacy, you have your times that you do things. A prostitute now. It does not literally mean that, oh, maybe all the time you are going out every night to like have sex with someone, sorry, have sex with someone, or you want to you're going out to do something. We have what do we call it? Online sex. We have different things that students involve themselves in. So when we're saying private university, you should not start making it sound like, oh, they will be ashamed. Anybody that's there to go through that part, they are not ashamed of anything, and it can be found in anywhere. So it's not better in one place or the other. It is also in both places.
There is something I noticed.
Okay.
You are leaning more into prostitution than cultism.
So when we're talking about cultism, people that started this thing, they are still well known in the community now. So it depends on how you want to do yours. It depends on how your brother or your what do they call them? Let me say your group. It depends on how you want to do it. So you might want it to like make a secret, but in private university there are also cultist people there. They are brothers. They are people that you when you see them you want to run away from them. There are some people that you see them you want to respect them and give them their space. So I don't think it's not about public or private. It is also everywhere.
Trust me. There's no one.
There's no one
In
was
my own private university, there is no one. I studied in one of the worst as per all in school. In quotes, that time one of the worst. And where OGs were. But there was no one that was scared to look up to because why? You want to touch me. There are cameras everywhere. You want to touch me, I'll get reports. If you touch me, you're going home.
so that's why I'm saying that it is not really about the cameras or not. It is also you just agree to it that their cult is also there. So it depends on your level. It depends on no, it's not about OGs only now. It is more of what do you do with your own group. Some people might like to be showing it off. Some people might like to people that started this thing, they were not really flaunting it. They are more about helping each other, they're more about doing it's not even about drugs and alcohol or maybe spending or having women come over to your party and all those things.
Yeah. People that started cultism, money guys started for a good purpose.
For a good purpose.
Yeah, I know. But we all know that cultism
Power, connection.
Now, what is cultism? What do you think cultism is? Because you're saying brothers and all.
Because that's what they call themselves. My fraternal brother, or that's what they call themselves. The group of people that come together, they have the same belief, they have the same view about things. This is how things to be. They want to help each other. That's how I feel them. But some of them also that do cultism, when they start progressing, then there are some people that are being bullied into it. There are some people that it's more of pressure. But that's not the point. The point is it more rampant in private or is it more rampant in public? It is everywhere.
It is more rampant.
It is more rampant in public university.
That is when you want to even attempt to even create a clique, they cut it off in private universities. You can to the extent that in some I don't want to mention universities and universities where when they see people working together and they stress people watch you steady. Security man is giving notes to his head security that is seeing these people. They start wearing black, 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 black. They will tell you people you cannot come out this way. Just the color, not even that they are making any move.
How do you?
were
Actually
saying that.
disagree with you.
Okay.
In the sense that the system in the private university is actually flexible. It's actually flexible. When you are a cultist and then you are being caught or you are a prostitute, they will still allow you and then you continue, you still go around the school. It's very like in the private university, there's this dress code. You can't dress anyhow inside the school. You don't know that.
This
Like in my
your
own school now, you can't a lady, a guy, you can't wear short clothes, you can't wear crazy and all. But in the private university, they allow.
this your
And the
flexibility.
system is
This
actually
your flexibility. When did you hear of this flexibility?
There's no
When did you hear of
flexibility.
this
They
flexibility?
give you what they want
Because
you to look
let me
like.
first. If you're having light out at 10, nobody can be outside by 10. When do you want to have time to gang up to do anything? When do you want to do anything?
That's what we're saying. It's not about the show off. It's about the communication you're having in between each other. And it does not necessarily saying that, oh, maybe after your semester, you do not have life outside it. You can do it anywhere.
But if we check statistics, insecurity, cultism is more rampant in public university.
Insecurity is everywhere. Don't even bring insecurity into it. Insecurity is everywhere.
But it's more rampant in
Because
public
there have been
universities.
histories of people killing each other or maybe fraternity killing each other everywhere in every school. Let's go down
and it's actually much
history. It's everywhere.
It's not.
It's not much.
Yes,
It's
One
much
reason is not much
no one is arguing that it's not everywhere.
But saying
It is more rampant
in public
in public universities.
Yes.
I honestly disagree with you.
Why? Because the system is flexible.
let me tell you. In Current University, yeah, there was this group of guys. They call themselves Compass. The Compass. They didn't start up. They weren't even a cult. There was a group of guys that they used to leave school and they used to tend to book rent house together to spend weekends and everything. So they turned to a clique kind of thing. So they tend to not go to classes and they stay in one room or press a laptop doing different things. The school noticed that, and that was the only sign of any type of anything that has to do with clique in the school. Because the people see people go out to play ball, they go out in this. But when you start seeing some particular people at the same time, a group up to 5, school cut it down. So they don't even allow any sign to even grow. Not to even they say that there's cultism and they are doing it at the back. There's not even cultism at all to even start with.
So, to me, what you're saying, they do not allow a growth. If they want to allow a growth, if I want to build a culture and I want to do something, I can take my idea to the school authority. Let it not be like I'm starting it with a surprise. They can do that. Oh, we want to be doing this kind of a thing. We want to be teaching each other. We want to be organizing tutorials.
I think
I don't think that you can
I don't
doing
think-
something else.
I don't think you're getting the context of cultism here. We're not trying to say we're forming religious, we're not forming groups or forming groups. They are reading groups, I'm forming a reading group, and group is different.
That's what I'm saying. Can something from anywhere.
Cultism, people that come together, share the same belief or ideas
Yes.
for evil reasons.
But evil things.
For evil reasons. You're forgetting. You cannot go to the school to go and ask that, sir, I want to start beating people up and down. It's not
I'm
possible.
not saying they are going to start with that. I'm saying that you might have decided to go and say, oh, we want to be organizing a program from social hours to social hours. But you can actually do something else.
Like that Madam Koi movie, you know.
From social hours to social hours. From social hours to social hours. What is time for you to enter your curfew time? You are entering, whether you take permission.
You just keep it in during the story.
And you can, when do you want to do the evil thing in the first place?
So make the meeting.
After,
You don't want to get another
Can you see? It takes a lot of time to even coordinate this cultism thing. It's not as hard as that in federal.
yes, sir.
There's no need for just join. Let's do it. Let's go and put a lecturer in his house.
It is a lie.
Are not allowed, like cultists are not allowed inside the school premises. It's only outside the school premises.
That means cultists exist.
No, they're everywhere. Cultists exist. But
everywhere.
they're much in the private university.
I found now. You see, public university and private university in exam, you say which one account is more, and you pick
It's private.
you pick
One way.
now now.
Because in public university, the students are restricted.
Exactly. The only thing,
This restriction of a thing is making it sound like quite
He said
the only
cut
the
it
only
out
thing
loud.
I can agree with you is prostitution. For prostitution,
You can hide it.
you can say there's influence everywhere, peer pressure everywhere,
Money.
and so everybody is looking for money. You can say in private university now, I can easily get influence. My friends buy Birkin bag, me too, I want to buy Birkin bag. So the influence is everywhere. That one, you can say it's evenly spread. But for something like cultism, it's not evenly spread. Don't let's deceive
For it to be
ourselves.
spread, that means you have to want it.
Don't let's deceive
There's
ourselves.
nothing that will make it
It's not
want
at
it.
public university, that's all.
Private university graduates have more connections and employment opportunities.
In the federal sector, you are battling strike, you are battling stress, you are battling infrastructure. You might come out and as a graduate and not even really know what you are doing in terms of even if you have graduated, and that will you find it hard getting job opportunities that way. For me, private universities give you more what you need to come out and be successful in your job hunt.
Wow. I totally disagree with you. You made mention that due to the stress and the strike of a team, it will make you it will make you unstable.
Mm.
I actually disagree with that. So can you expatiate or elaborate?
If you are in school, you want to get good grades. You want to now when you are going for job hunting, some organizations don't just state 2-1 and above. I saw on Twitter sometimes someone said in his department in Uniben, he said in his department he knows that nobody has ever gotten first class ever. Like it's not like it's something that's happening before, present, and future is looking that way. So that kind of environment coming out now, and they are looking for opportunities that they are saying 2-1 and above. These are the people that can apply for job opportunities. That has already brought down that department for generations for that role. Just putting it that way now, stress, infrastructure, everything like goes though that way. It doesn't just help you in coming out and being well standing strong in going for job hunting. That's
Why,
how I
why
see.
not look why not look at it from this angle? You made mention that you tell your friend actually explained to you that in his department there's nobody that has ever graduated with first class. So why not look at it from that angle that they actually the how would I call it? The system there is actually a straightforward system, not like the private school. That their system is actually flexible. That's why most people will finish with first class.
That's why I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because the straightforward system does not matter. You cannot tell me there's no brilliant student that has gone to that has not gone to that school. But it can just be maybe this person say a lecturer will be posting. Nobody can get first class in my pure course, and it's something that is meant to be proud of. In private universities, it is straightforward. Anything you give out, you are going to get. If you give out first class stuff, you're going to get first class. Now, see if you give out first class stuff in my class, you get second class or you get third class or something. This one is straight. If you give out first class stuff, you're going to get first class, and that's why we are more equipped and we are and they're
Okay,
equipping
so
us better for
let me say
job hunting.
something. Let me stop you right there. When you're talking about opportunity does not come with maybe a private you went to private university or you went to a public university. It depends on your mindset, your other spirit, what you've been able to learn and what you've been able to do. We've seen scenarios whereby I'd made mention in the previous topic that you do not really have the opportunity to gather yourself around and build up on something. Let's say you want to build up on a business that you need manpower. You people do not have that avenue over there. But when it comes to like public sector, some of them comes with if you're able to like, oh, they might just do a debate on something, then you gain a scholarship through that. you have their avenue. You're already building business even before you left school. You're already like establishing different things. You're already going into career paths. You're already seeing one of your friends that is taking up a course and is sharing it with you, or you can do this. In public sectors, we have government providing some of, let's say, a kind of an NGO or a career talk or a career shows. In one of these career talks, some of them come with scholarships. When I was in school, there is a convention we normally go for. That convention makes you not to only come together to brainstorm about something, get to learn more. You get to meet some people that tend to like impact your life later on. So all of these things, I'm not saying private school does not come for those kind of conventions and all. However, there's always different streams that can make you connect with good people when you're in federal university more than when you're in a private university.
You have a good point here, but I'm saying private school and private universities will not give you opportunities, or will not give you opportunities because I'm not going to conventions or no. It's
I'm not limiting it to convention. It can be anything that
because
you are able to do. You have free access to do.
in private school we have a controlled environment, and one of the most important advantage of private school is networking. Yeah. Once you're in a private school, except you don't want,
You
you're
can
going
be
to
anywhere and
any
network.
network. But relax. There are, apart from that, in private school you're not in the hustle bustle of life, you're in a stressful environment, so it gives us extra advantage for us to.
So please let me stop you there. There's nothing like you're not in also freedom of life or something. When you want to get something, there will always be a bit of you putting in the hard work to get the thing. That one is there.
Yes,
Then apart from when you're talking about networking now, it does not really have to do with maybe a private sector or a public sector. It depends on what ideas are you bringing forward. What are you bringing? What are people buying from you? It's about that.
and also private universities they prioritize helping their students get options. There are entrepreneurship courses, there are extracurricular. They are also during graduation week. They usually job career, there's a particular day that is usually set down for career advice or this
So also in public career talk. In fact, many times in public sector.
so in private schools, there's a particular day that they set down for career talks, just to advise their
So
students
also in public
on
sector.
how to listen. Then also, apart from that, they also take their time to invite companies so that the companies come, they start looking this and they talk, they start looking at possible candidates for vacancies
So
in
also in
their.
public sectors.
See, I
It
see it like
happens a
this.
lot.
I see it
It
like this.
happens a lot.
Now to get job is no more by just coming to submit CV now. You submit CV and prove that you know what you're doing. In private universities, everything that is being taught is being given a practical version of it. But in federal universities, that infrastructure itself is a problem. So for you to even you learn theory. How do you implement what you've learned? If you are, for example, technical person now is trying to learn a system administration. You learn everything theoretically. And how do you implement those things? Which usually you come out the lecturer laptop, open and start the test. No, you have how do you learn all those things when
So
a class is
so
being taught?
what I'm saying is all these things are also applicable in public sectors. However, there are advantages and disadvantages to things. Students in public sectors, when I said they build up their business, during this period you see parents setting up their children for more other opportunities because in education sectors you need to be educated and you also need to have a hand skills. When it comes to you already have a hand skills, by the time you resume schools, you're already juggling both. You're already understanding that you need to mix up both together, even when you're out of school and you want to start work.
So what happens during strike
Mm-hmm.
is not by the public sector. It's the parents that are saying, since this public university is useless, let me make good use of the time. Not the public sector going on strike is an advantage. No, it's not them that they are providing the students with the entrepreneurship skills. It's the
The
parents
school
of
also, it's even a course on its own. It is a course
but
on its own that you need
what
to
I'm
have an
just saying is what
entrepreneurial
happens during
skills.
strike is not on
There
public
it's not only
university.
strike. It happens. It's part of the curriculum. It's part of the courses that you're meant to take. Entrepreneurial skills. You go for the practical. There are practical setups for you to develop your skills business wise.
Oh, you are going to disagree now.
I believe that we get everybody gets job.